This past weekend, I was in San Jose, California, and today it is Monday, April 25th, and I am back home. Looking through the news today, an ultra marathoner, I'm reading, attempted to run from Florida to Bermuda in an inflatable bubble, and his trip was cut short when the Coast Guard towed him back to land for the second time. Coast Guard wasn't happy about it, as it posted a series of tweets stating that the aspiring bubble runner, Reza Baluki, had flouted its safety orders. So apparently they got this guy. It's the second time he tried it. This Muppet. He's out there running basically like in a gerbil ball. You ever seen those balls you get a gerbil? Well, like that. Like he's out there running in the middle of that, trying to go across the ocean. He originally refused to quit his journey, but asked for help 3 days later. So at first he's like, nah, and then he's like, yeah. His strategy was to catch fish, eat protein bars, and sleep on a hammock inside of the pod. He'd planned to travel 1,000 miles, blah, 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 around Puerto Rico and Cuba. Unbelievable, dude. What? I mean, this is the kind of shit that... these are the kind of people you got to get out of society, I think. You could say he's a dreamer and this and that, but the Forrest Gump era is over. Somebody's already sailed across the different channels and the different ocean. It's all over, this dude's trying to be like an Amelia Earhart in this gerbil bubble. I say they put him in an iron bubble and let him run in that, dude. Or how about he runs to get a real job and pay America back? They said, I'm reading here, it said that it'll cost America $140,000 in costs for the rescue efforts, the combined rescue efforts, because this is 2 times that it's happened. Unbelievable. CNN ran a story about this guy in 2012. Baluki had told CNN he fled Iran to escape persecution and became an American citizen. Look, Baluki, I bet Iran just let you go, bro. I bet they saw you leaving and were like, sayonara, however you say that in Farsi, sayonara. Unbelievable, dude. This bozo cost America almost $150,000 because he's out there screwing around. Get a job, you Muppet. Get a job. Quit trying to save the world. You're a bozo, dude. I'm upset today again, a little bit this morning about politics. Overall, I just feel taken advantage of. I feel like everybody should. It's just obvious that businesses run our political system. Big businesses, super PACs, this money behind them. They're behind Hillary. She's going to win, and that's fine. I don't think it matters. It matters that it's out of people's hands. It's out of the citizens' hands. I'm finding that more and more frustrating. I just read today that bed bugs are attracted more to dark red and black. So if you have a blanket or sheets of those colors, you're more likely to have bed bugs. Or if you are dark red or black, if you have a black friend, it might be a good day to call them and let them know that they are more likely to get bed bugs. I'm gonna break it off to a couple of my African American friends out there. Jesus, as if black people haven't been through enough. They got to deal with this now. I never had them. I never had bed bugs. I don't think I got bit by something actually a month ago. Where was that at? I don't even remember. It could have been abroad. It could have been some chick I was dating. I don't even know. Got me right in the thigh, though, heavily. And I got bit by a black widow a couple years ago. She was in her 40s. Who get it? That's a joke I tell all the time. Anyway, I spent this past weekend in San Jose. San Jose, that means, I guess, without Jose in Spanish. It's definitely not without Jose. Jose is alive and well there. It's very Latino. It's also very Asian, very black, very white. Almost equally across the board, it seems like number-wise. I think it's like a city of the future, kind of. It's chill. It's casual. Everybody seems to get along very well. It's kind of boring. I like a little bit more of gunplay out there in the atmosphere. I like to see, I like seeing some thugs on the street corner. I like a little bit more stuff like that. I like things to be a little bit more like, a little bit more rough around the edges. This place was pretty chill. A lot of one-story buildings there. So if you wanted to jump off a building and kill yourself, you couldn't do it. You might sprain your ankle, and you'll probably land at a Starbucks. There's just like chain stores and everything there. A couple things that happened to me this past weekend. I walked through a Wendy's drive-thru. Okay, I get into San Jose. It was about, I don't know what time it was, but I had a comedy show right when I got there at Rooster T. Feathers. That's the club. I was there with a funny guy named Stuart Thompson, a white guy, funny kid, friend of mine. Anyway, so I get in, do the show, get dropped off in my hotel, realize I don't have anything to eat. The front desk people say, there's nothing to eat. Like, it's funny. Yeah, it's not funny, dude, because I'm hungry, bro, okay? And I can't sleep in hunger, This ain't, I'm not living in a first world country, to turn back the, to do, third world activities, So I wanted to get a little bit of hunger, get my hunger filled up. So the man said, there's a Wendy's across the street. So I walk over there, walk up to the glass, pull on the door, and it's locked. And the lady points to the drive-thru, the lady that's sweeping up inside. So I'll walk around back to the drive-thru. There's 2 cars in front of me. They do their orders. I mean, it's awkward. You're standing behind a car. You're trying not to look like you're like about to break into the trunk. I didn't have my phone on me, so usually when you're standing around, you can like look at your phone, like you're busy or you're doing something. Didn't have my phone, which these days makes you seem even more of a loiterer, even more of a creep. So I'm standing back there behind 2 cars without my phone, waiting for them to order. They pull on up, and then I get there. I'm standing by the machine, and nobody's saying, like, can I take your order? There's nothing. There's no nothing. So I just, I figure that, maybe I'm not registering as a car. So I'm like, well, what? I try and jump. What a fucking idiot I am. I try to jump up and down on the concrete right there to seem heavier, to like make an impact. Like maybe there's something under the ground that lets them know a car is there from the weight of the car. I jump up and down, nothing. I'm like waving my hands. I went and got a little branch. There was like a shrub thing. I got like a couple of branches and tried to like walk with him out by my sides in each hand, trying to seem like bigger. Maybe it was like you had to fill some space in in some sort of, radar system or something that was regulating or, registering inside when a car was there. Anyway, I tried everything I could do to seem like a car. And I couldn't. I cannot seem like a car. I realized that I am a passenger. So I walk up. One of the cars in line literally took 14 minutes to get their food. They get their food. The second car goes. It's now been a total of about 18 minutes. I get up to the window. I'm like, hey, they won't take my order in the back. I can't get the thing to turn on. The guy's like, you can't walk through the drive-thru. And dude, I almost turned into the chicken nugget lady in the YouTube video. I mean, I almost, because the woman inside earlier had told me to go around. Here I am. I walked through a drive-thru. It's now been about 25 minutes. I got nothing to eat. I'm furious. Went back to the hotel, and they had a nice girl there. This little redheaded gal. She might date brothers, actually. She looks like she kind of had it in her. But she said that she would drive me over there. So then we went back through. The dude was not happy to see me, even though I was with this girl now. Gave me some shit, the dude at the Wendy's, because I kind of had it out with this dude, So anyway, don't walk through the drive-thru, because you can't. They can't deal with it when you do it. That's the problem. What else? A drunk girl came out to one of my shows, almost ruined it. She was loud. She was drunk. We all hung out afterwards, and she made like every conversation about her. Just don't get loud and drunk. I don't care if you're a man or woman, a leopard. Don't get loud and drunk. Get medium. You want to get drunk, get medium. Okay. Just because you're drunk doesn't mean that everybody wants you up at a higher level. Because this broad was set me forward a couple of stress years. What else? This past weekend, it was pretty calm, man. San Jose's really chill. I went to a yoga studio. I did do yoga. I'm going to fess up to it. Doctor said I needed to be stretching a little bit, and I've been feeling tight in the neck. I've been feeling like my veins and everything have been bunching up in my body. So I wanted to get to the yoga studio. Trying to spread myself out a little bit, open my chest up, might even more ability to let the Lord in, let the light in, let life into me. So I went to do that. And I ran to the studio. So I wanted to get a run in, right? So I ran to the studio. It was a little over 3 miles, and I actually did pretty well, about 8.5 minutes a mile, which for me is pretty good. So I get there just in time for the class, right? And I paid a guy to go in. It's $10. I go in the room, and everybody has like a mat and a towel that they put over the mat, because this is like hot yoga. This is like one where they got a steam room. It's pretty seedy, I think, a little bit. It definitely seems like, dudes could be kind of, scrubbing themselves out in the distance, and you don't really know because it gets a little foggy in there. So I'm in there, and I am leaking sweat from the second I walk in, like just dripping all over on my mat. Miserable. Drip, drip. I mean, everybody else's mat is dry. They haven't even started, and mine is soaking wet. Not to mention, I didn't bring a towel to put over my mat. So it's just my mat getting completely slippery. The class starts going, evolving. It's about a half hour into it. And I am my mat is turned into a slip and slide, dude. There's no way to hold any pose. There's no way to do anything. I can barely stand up without falling over. I'm slipping everywhere, like just slinging sweat in every direction. Pretty much infuriated everyone around me. Realized at a certain point that this isn't even safe. This is not even a safe mat to be on. And I left in there. And also it smelled hella wild in there. They had a lady by the door. I'm not joking. Ladies, you got to wash up. Wash your shop up, huh? Wash your little shop up before you go into yoga. Because, if, we're adults here. And at this point, as an adult, you can kind of pick up on where some of these smells are coming from. And this broad was lit. This broad was, it just sounded like you kind of got that feeling in your nose like she'd been frickin' raising oysters down there. You know what I'm saying? Like it had just, it was tough. And there was another girl at the comedy club, a lady actually, who was leaving there, who came to the show. And she passed by me, and I caught a whiff off of this frickin', she smelled like she just, I don't know. You got to freshen up, ladies. We all have to, and this goes for everybody, but you gotta get your gourd. You gotta get your gourd washed out every now and then, even if you're not using it. Because the lady at the comedy club definitely didn't seem like she'd been using it. Some woman that had come out to the show. She stood and talked to me for a while she was leaving. And look, I've been around some crotch in my life, and I know how it comes in and how it, and how it can hit you pretty hard. And she really, she dealt me a blow right there in the snout. So that was it, man. That was my weekend. Oh, they had continental breakfast. I don't know what continent it was from. Seemed kind of British to me, but at the hotel. And we're all sitting in there eating breakfast one morning, just everybody that's staying at this hotel. And Forensic Files was on the TV in there. So I just thought it was weird. It's like, here's 30 people that don't know each other, and everybody's watching Forensic Files together. So anyway, it was like, somebody's waiting for their omelet and watching somebody get murdered on the side. So anyway, that was my weekend, man. That was this past weekend. What else is going on with me? You can catch my Allegedly podcast on iTunes. Allegedly, we may get this to iTunes eventually. For now, I'm just keeping it right on here. I'll be at the Tempe Improv in Tempe, Arizona, Thursday, May 12th through 15th. And I will be at the Hard Rock Roxino in Cleveland, June 2nd through the 5th. And the Punchline in Atlanta, the 9th through the 12th of June. Those are dates that I have coming up. Check out my special on Netflix, Theo no offense. I hope everybody has a great week. God bless you guys. And this was this past weekend.